Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Our governors have to share police powers with the president as stipulated by the constitution. We do not have a federal government police force. We have the Nigerian police force, which shall be administered, organized, and supervised by the Nigerian police force.
No, my lord, I want to say something. I want to say something.
Legally Speaking, a program that deals with legal issues and questions we face as citizens of this amazing country, Nigeria. Legally Speaking. Join us every
Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
for Legally Speaking.
You're very welcome to Business 360 this morning. Of course, we'll be looking at what's happened in the world of business from over the weekend, even in sports. We'll be looking at all of that and much more on the program this morning. You're welcome to Business 360. I am Edidio Martin. We'll be starting with the Argentine national team that will be lifted the FIFA World Cup for the third time yesterday evening after defeating the French national team 4-2. On penalties in a pulsating final played at the iconic Lusail Stadium in Doha, Qatar. 72 million for the two finalists. Les Bleus, that's the French team, will take home $30 million for their efforts in the Gulf states. The prize money for the year and the prize money for the winner of this year's tournament is for Russia. Meanwhile, Croatia pocketed $27 million. Africa in World Cup. We'll be looking at the fact Argentina is well placed to reap the extra 0.25% points of economic growth in the 2 quarters following the tournament. Well, this is according to a recent paper by Marcelo Med of a rise in exports because the winner enjoys greater international visibility in 2002. Well, moving away from the World Cup and all the euphoria it comes with, Twitter's owner, Elon Musk, is asking users of the social media platform to vote on his future. And I quote, "Should I stay down?" Or has faced much criticism since taking over Twitter. Recall that after a legal battle, Elon Musk took control of the company in October in a $44 billion deal. 7% had said yes to Elon Musk stepping down as the CEO. According to Dan Ives, a senior quality analyst as the CEO of Twitter. Coming back to World Bank, the World Bank has its overall bottom line. This conversation took place at the Nigeria Development Update and Country Economic Memorandum in Abuja. Alex Sennett, the World Bank's new lead economist for Nigeria, presided over the forum and detailed reasons why Nigeria should in oil price. And not just him, a lot of people have talked about Nigeria removing oil subsidy, talking about the IMF. And now, well, let's look at what's going on around the global economy, starting with New York's economy. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York President John Williams actually discourses Fed policy, the central bank's efforts to address inflation, and
colleagues expect the Fed funds rate to get to, say, 5 to 5.5% next year. I think that gets us into that hopefully sufficiently restricted. But obviously, we have to watch the data. The inflation and other data have surprised us, and we need to be on the lookout for that. But I do feel we're getting to a better place, at 2%. So to me, back down on the way to 2%. You know, my view is you have to think about real interest rates, as you said. If you look at, again, the median around 1.5%, I think that's a reasonable view of restrictive. Again, whether it's sufficiently restrictive, we'll have to watch the data and see. But I think that's, to me, basically where I'm thinking, right? Baseline is
working towards trying to bring back inflation in the U.S. to 2%. Moving away from that story, IMF has approved $3 billion support package to cash-strapped Egypt over almost 4 years, with the agreement expected to draw in additional $14 billion in financing for the country. The support package announced late on Friday, it is actually known as the Extended Fund Facility Arrangement, will not require the Egyptian, according to an Egyptian cabinet report. Egypt's economy has been hard hit by higher oil and food against the dollar since March. Still looking at economies here in Africa, we'll be looking at Morocco's manufacturing output. It has grown at a 1 year in the third quarter of 2022, accelerating from a 1.8% increase in the previous month. Manufacture of autos, that's vehicles, at 21.7%, food at 8.6%, tobacco and footwear at 25.4%, printing and reproduction of recordings at 23.2%, and wood products at 22.9%, electrical equipment at minus 13.2%, and other non-metallic material products at 11.3%. Looking at what's going on in the commodity, $5 per barrel today, snapping a 2-day decline as Chinese authorities vowed to boost consumption at a key economic policy meeting, sparking hopes of greater energy demand in the world's top crude import, starting with a 3 million barrel fixed price purchase, following a year of unprecedented release from strategic reserves to counter soaring energy costs. The price cap imposed by the Group of 7 and European Union on Russian oil has also so far failed to disrupt flows, with top buyer India saying it does not expect problems. Meanwhile, fears of a global recession continue to weigh on commodity markets as central banks in major economies ask for it at $75 per barrel. But let's have a look at it. Let's see how WTI crude is faring right now in the market at $74.9 per barrel. That's an appreciation of 0.87% from $75 per barrel it was at this morning. Another oil that could catch our interest is Nigeria's benchmark. We have it Brent at $79.68 per barrel this morning. Another appreciation, quite little, but an appreciation all the same. Gasoline also appreciating, hitting oil, appreciating, going for $3.14. Coal and all other commodities in the market appreciating. About a couple of, looking at UK gas, TTF gas, a couple of commodities are depreciating in the market. Since last week, we've seen depreciating market. Talking about gold, the silver, and all other commodities in the metal market, we see gold exchanging for $1,789.26 this morning per ounce. We see it appreciating at 4.53.3 US dollars per ounce. Also, copper is also appreciating in the market. We see platinum and titanium appreciating in the market. A couple of commodities depreciating: steel, iron ore, HRC steel depreciating in the market. One commodity that has caught my interest since last week is lithium. Lithium has how that actually reacts in the market in the long run. Moving away from the metal market, we would like to see what's going on with the agricultural market. Talking about soybeans, talking about rice and wheat. Well, we would like to see how all of those commodities are faring in the market, looking at the fact that we are in the Yuletide season and it's almost a bloodbath in the agricultural market. Wheat is depreciating, 0.19% depreciation all the same. Soybeans depreciating. We see cheese, milk, all other commodities depreciating in the market. Very few commodities appreciating. That's palm oil. We see orange juice. We see sugar. Very few agricultural commodities appreciating in the market. We're hoping for better reports much later in the week, looking at the agricultural market, knowing very well that this is the Yuletide season. We're hoping for positivity in the agricultural market. Well, moving away from that, let's look at what's going on with the foreign exchange. Looking at Japanese yen that has jumped on policy pivotal talks. The Japanese yen jumped as much as 0.6% to 135.8 accord with the Bank of Japan, which states that the central bank will achieve 2% inflation target at the earliest possible time. The government is aiming to make the price goal more flexible, a move that could widen the BOJ's policy options to adjust the economic development. BNP Paribas, that's a Japan chief credit strategist, Nazora, a potential candidate for Bank of Japan deputy governor next year, also recently told reporters that the central bank should change a policy statement to give themselves more room to adjust interest rates. Meanwhile, the yen remains under pressure about forex, that's foreign exchange and other currencies. Let's look at what's going on with the Euro-USD market. Let's see how the dollar is exchanging in the markets this morning. Looking at as of last week, the dollar was a little weak in the market, but as of this morning, we see the dollar against other currency. We see the exchange rate from the euro to dollar at 1.06 US dollar. And we also see the pounds also appreciating in the market against the US dollar. We see other commodities, or rather the US dollar appreciating against other currencies in the market. We see the US dollar exchanging quite well. In fact, against the Japanese yen is struggling. Other commodities, better still, other currencies are struggling in the market against the US dollar. I would say that positivity, the US dollar has actually strengthened this morning compared to how it was as a US dollar naira market. Against the naira, the dollar is exchanging at 450 naira per dollar. Well, it's an appreciation all the same from what it was over the weekend. But as that last week it was exchanging at 444 and thereabout. Toward the end of the week, it went into something else. Well, against the euro, it is exchanging at $473 naira per euro this morning. We see the naira actually strengthening against the dollar, against other currencies in the market. We see the naira faring quite well. And like I always say, it speaks much of the policies by the government and the CBN to try and strengthen the naira in the market. Well, let's see what's going on. But let's see what Bitcoin is exchanging at this morning. Bitcoin is at 16,753 US dollars as at this morning. Well, it's an appreciation all the same. It's been up and down for a while now. We see major coins in the cryptocurrency market depreciating this morning. Even Ripple also depreciating. I took our attention. I said this last week on Friday. One of the coins that has caught my attention is that a lot of people, I once called Ripple the Wonder Kid, and Ripple was once here at some point, and right now it's almost with the major coins. So I would always tell people, have a look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency market and take a look at that. My interest is right there. I don't know about all other people, but yes, markets, talking about the US stocks that has fallen for the second week. US equity closed today, notching a second consecutive week of losses as fears mounted at 82 points, while SP 500 fell 1.1% and Nasdaq Composite shed almost 1% for the week. All three major US stocks indexes were down over 1%. Stocks have been under heavy pressure since Wednesday after the Federal Reserve reaffirmed its commitment to raise interest rates further and keep them higher for longer. According to the gloomy outlook, was sharper than expected the 2.5 years. On the positive side, Facebook parents as the Meta platform jumped more than 4% after JP Morgan upgraded the stock to overweight from neutral. I would like us to look at a yearly chart representing US stocks if we have it. As you can see from the chart, from March, it was a little bit down as at March. We see it November, and it's falling down again for 2 weeks now. It's been a little bit down in the market. Well, moving away from that, let's see what's going on in the Nigerian stock markets. We can't talk about stock markets without looking at what happened over the billion naira for 814.089 million shares in 15,488 deals last week. The financial service industry was the most active industry by measure of volumes after investors traded 663.799 million shares worth 5.517 billion naira in over 7,000 deals. Talking about the top 30s by measure of volume, while investors traded 394.87 million shares worth 2 of those companies. Now, the top gainer for the week was Learn Africa, which gained 47 kobo to close at 2 naira 12 kobo, up from the previous 1 naira 65 kobo, to settle from 54 kobo, down from the previous 61 kobo per share. I would have liked us to look at what's going on with the African stock market, but we've run out of time, so stay tuned. Sports Central is up next. Thank you. Many thanks for watching. I am Edidio Martin.